sports. It's in the game.
That wasn't a lucky play. That was just good football.
We're at the home of the Super Bowl 52 champions, Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. It's hard enough to play on the road in this league as it is. But to start on the road with a fumble on the opening kickoff, just not the precedent you obviously want to set.
Not at all, and now it's just words because they've talked about it all week. From the time they start game planning for this one, remember, going into hostile territory, we have to set the tone right in the beginning, and they do the exact opposite.
2nd and 5. Again, it's Barkley. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. Jalen Hurts finding A.J. Brown. And the Eagles march right down the field in 3 plays to claim the early advantage. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at their own 21. And they'll begin here with a run by Brown. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
From the 23, here's the 2nd and 9. Here's Burrow. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
It's pretty early in the game, but they've already tried to establish him not just as a runner, but as a receiver as well. Didn't happen there, but I wouldn't be surprised at all to see them try again shortly.
Well, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
There are not many times where you might say it's a detriment to have a quarterback with a cannon for an arm, but this might be one of those few times. He just laid that one out there a bit too far, and his receiver couldn't run under it.
Fourth down. Here's Joe Burrow. He's got his target. That's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Defensively, a bit of a collapse, allowing the fourth down play to result in 23 yards. Now Burrow on first down. Got a man. It's Brown. They find some open field here. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. This gain not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 34.
And they come with a jet sweep here as Burrow just taps that forward.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
On second down, Burrow.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Eagles are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the...
Oh, wide open, complete.
Now he's loose down the middle of the field.
Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Devontae Smith,
84 yards.
And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Elliott good with a PAT. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game? That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Looking deep here for Chase.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
Well, they had that one snipped out defensively. That's a tough one to connect on when you got multiple defenders in the area, and it winds up incomplete.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow.
He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go.
Burrow bats it forward. It's a jet sweep.
And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Again, it's Burrow.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick.
And the Eagles are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well, swarming.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
Devontae Smith.
2 catches, 2 touchdowns here.
And the Eagles take a 3-touchdown lead.
And it's no good. He missed it wide to the left. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
A throw off his back foot there. That's going to wind up incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Burrow looking to pass.
That is caught.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's 2nd down and 7.
Burrow will throw. This will be caught by Brown. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
High throw, but he makes the catch. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Brown. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
On 1st and 10, here's Brown.
And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
Well, that kind of hit will certainly fire up your team, both on the field and on the sideline. Tackles for lost yardage, they're always welcome.
Now Burrow. And now Burrow going to be intercepted yet again. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10. All that remains is to snap this once, and that'll do it for the first half of play. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. A very interesting call and one that backfires. I know they're losing, Charles, but boy, to start the second half with the onside kick, risky.
Felt like a sense of urgency from their side, coupled with, you and I both know the special teams coordinators.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Now they're in some hot water now after that sack. It's 2nd and 21. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. If they want it first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. Play action. Here's Hurts. Airing it out deep for Smith. And this is caught. Touchdown, Eagles. Devontae Smith, 38 yards. And the Eagles are able to extend their lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble, he'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going.
The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook. The bottom line is don't quit competing.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First down. Here's Burrow. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Boy, Charles, that is now 3 interceptions in 3 consecutive drives, and you can see he's just got a look of disgust and bad body language, understandably, as he walks off the field.
And I think it comes from the fact that he's not sure what he sees down the field, Brandon. I don't know if he's seeing good.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith, 58 yards. And the Eagles just continue to roll.
This is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Well, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. And oh my goodness, here's a fifth interception. Well, that is now his fifth interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown. A.J. Brown with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Eagles get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Elliott good with a PAT, and it is 42-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. He will return this from deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Barkley, inside handoff. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14. They work now on 2nd and 9. They go play action with Hurts. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Goddard. 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
On 3rd down, Burrow. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
As soon as he leaked out and began his route, someone on the defensive side broke with him and arrived just in time to separate him from another reception.
The 3 straight incompletions, they don't care. That hasn't dissuaded them. They're going to go for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Burrow. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. And they come with a jet sweep here as Burrow just taps that forward. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. An inside give, Brown. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Burrow bats it forward. It's a jet sweep. Here's 2nd and 4 from the 24. Now Burrow going to change things up. From the 24, Burrow. This one complete to Yoshivas. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 15-yard line. They come with a jet sweep here as Burrow just taps that forward. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. So maybe just a momentary setback on what's been a great drive so far, but 2nd and 13 here. And Burrow going to throw again. And my goodness, another interception. And the Eagles are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line. Well, partner. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Atlanta. And he is out of bounds here on the return. Throwing from the outset is Penix. And complete to Drake London. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on the game's first play and a quick first down. A first carry for Tyler Algier. And he's going to bowl his way forward to the 48. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. To the air, Penix. Being chased out left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. Part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the mark.
And this is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. A play fake. Now Penix. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Rondale Moore from 3 yards out. And the Falcons will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Well, with this rookie QB, we talk a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there, and let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be up.
There he goes, left side. Saquon Barkley. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley, 75 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Elliott good on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he is out of bounds here on the return. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. Again, it's Robinson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on first down.
This is 2nd and 8. Operating from the gun, Penix.
And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 45-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. These two teams all tied after one. Back now in Atlanta, second quarter action. The Falcons with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Option play. Here's Robinson.
And down inside the 40 to about the 38. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
On the counter, this is Robinson.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. Going to be some contact going on.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard.
Now Penix. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 26.
Looking to throw, Penix.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Reed Blankenship. And the Eagles are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
89 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. They'll throw on first down with Hurts.
Over the middle, and there's a diving catch. That one goes for 30 yards. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back, trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Barkley is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the second time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he is out of bounds here on the return. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. That 7-0 lead of theirs short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can go down and score? So what was the formula that got them down there the first time?
Taking it right down Broadway. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
Now they'll audible to something else.
On 1st and 10, it's Penix. Forced out to his left. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Eagles are going to get the football here as he gets this up past the 20-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And with a 14-7 lead, they might just be happy to take this thing on into the tunnel.
Looking here for Smith downfield. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Down to the 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles will extend their lead here just before halftime. Elliott good on the extra point, and it's now 21-7.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take it.
And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted.
And the Eagles are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
So his struggle is just continuing here in the first half throwing the football, Charles. Now 3 interceptions.
And they don't feel like they're just great plays by the defense. There's a sense that maybe he's a little careless with the football now. So some of the great coaches in the past, you know, they've always said, I can't teach you, obviously, because you're not listening. So maybe the bench can teach you. He's got to be careful now. He might get pulled.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Here's Hurts to throw.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the 3rd quarter gets underway.
And they'll opt not to return this, but since the ball did hit in the landing zone, it'll come out to the 20.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go.
And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Airing it out deep for Smith. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
We've always got to remember that once the ball's in the air, the defender has every right to go after it that a receiver does. And that was a battle for positioning on that play. And in the end, he's able to force the incomplete pass.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
107 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Hurts throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Call that a very strong gain of 24. Up the middle with Barkley. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. Another try for Barkley. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley, a 6-yard touchdown run.
And the Eagles take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
This will be fielded in the end zone, but he'll decide against bringing it out, so they'll take over at the 30.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. That's now consecutive 5-yard carries to pick up the 1st down.
They'll throw with Penix. He's got his man, London, right side. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
The throw over the middle taken in. And he has another 1st down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 18. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
And looking to throw, Penix.
And this is caught at the 8.
And the Falcons are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. They'll run with Robinson.
And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. It'll be a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll also be the final play of this 3rd quarter. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Algier will score. Touchdown, Atlanta. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept him out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on him. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball. I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. Hurts fumbles it, and the Falcons grab it. He may go. And this is going to be brought back. It's a scoop and score for the Falcon TD. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game. I think they just got their spark.
No doubt about it. You know, that's all they discussed. How can we get ourselves moving again? How can we get our team going? This definitely qualifies.
Koo now for the point after. He's got it, and they're back within a touchdown at 28-21. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Hurts sets up to throw it. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, 76 yards. And the Eagles use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Throwing on 2nd down, Penix. And This is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Reed Blankenship. And he'll take this all the way down inside the 40.
Boy, Charles, you hate to see this for a rookie quarterback. You're hoping it doesn't shake his confidence, but that confidence, it might be shaken because that is 4 interceptions for him now in this ballgame.
It has to be shaken. Wouldn't be
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset.
2nd and 16.
And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Dancing to his left.
That one complete down the field to Smith.
A big play there for Philly. 43 yards.
And this is one of the toughest parts about being a defensive back. When a play breaks down like this, you're taught to plaster to a receiver. Find the nearest one and adhere yourself to it. But you can only stay with the receiver so long if the play continues to develop. He knows where he's going. You do not.
Going for the knockout punch. They'll try and run.
And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. Saquon Barkley taking it in from 2 yards out.
And the Eagles have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And he is out of bounds here on the return. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. They were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Here's Penix on 1st and 10.
And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Throwing again, Penix.
Steps away to his left. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Penix working out of the gun here. And caught by London.
Touchdown, Falcons.
Drake London.
A 22-yard touchdown grab.
And the Falcons have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So on this drive, the rookie leads him into the end zone, Charles, and that helps cancel out the points that were created on the previous drive when he threw the interception.
Yeah, let's give some credit to this rookie because instead of hanging his head after his mistake leads to a touchdown, he comes back out and he's firing and made up for it right there. A well-executed series that helps reestablish some confidence in him to run this offense.
And they're going to get the 2-point conversion, caught in the end zone, and that cuts the lead a bit further. So time definitely not in their favor, down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Throwing on 2nd and long. Hurts. Under pressure, they got him again. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably
We're at the home of the Super Bowl 52 champions, Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And off we go from Lincoln Financial Field. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. They run here with Rico Dowdle. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They run again with Dowdle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Another 6-yard carry, same as last play. First down.
But, partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Give them 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now it's a bootleg with Prescott sliding out of the pocket. Another one to CeeDee Lamb. He's got it. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Another first down as he went right back to the same well, this time for 17 yards. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Cowboys. Rico Dowdle, 31 yards. And the Cowboys are on the board first here this afternoon. So they get the ball on the opening drive. They take it in for the score.
And how about setting the tone right away? Everyone talks about wanting to do that, but you always hear it in every locker room. First 5 minutes of the game, who's going to set the tone? Who's going to take control? Guess who just did?
Well, now on the next drive, when you score that quickly or you're scored that quickly again, you probably feel like you need to respond.
Yeah, without a doubt. In other words, you've actually put the pressure even more so on your opponent.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And that makes the score 7-0. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Across midfield.
And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Following the interception, here's Prescott.
To Lamb, he pulls it in. What a catch.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 17 yards on the play there, and the Cowboys have a first down.
Boy, that completion comes with a high degree of difficulty, especially on the catch. Had to look that one in one-handed, able to do so, and ends up picking up a first down as well.
On the run, it's Dowdle. He'll get this down to the 21, just on the edge of the red zone.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 21, here's 2nd down and 7. They run here with Dowdle.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. A running play, it's Dowdle.
But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Here's a give up the middle.
60 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
I think we all suspected that they were going back to him after he found the end zone on his last carry, and they kept the positive momentum going there. Another nice run by him.
Second and 4. They could still get a first down without scoring. And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
Dowdle trying to get to the goal line, but he's going to be stopped just short at the 1.
Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Two minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Cowboys.
Rico Dowdle
with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half.
And the Cowboys have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Well, he'd been the workhorse on this drive, and it would have been unfair to bring someone else in to finish the job. So they go back to him again, and he delivers with a touchdown run.
Aubrey now for the point after.
And it's good to make it 14-0.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away.
And they'll let that one go as it skips through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get touchdown, Eagles. A.J. Brown, 55 yards.
And the Eagles are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6.
They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us.
And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Oh, he tried to fit it in on the slant, and it's intercepted.
Darius Slay with a pick. Well, this was a 14-0 game not too long ago. Things were looking pretty good. And then you give up the touchdown on the last drive. Now the interception.
So that's a lesson in trying to stay vigilant, isn't it? You have to stay on top of things. Can't relax too much because, as you noted, things change. Now they've got to go out there and get a spark going again and try and slow down this comeback.
On first down, Hurts. Looking for A.J. Brown again, and he's got it again.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
They run with a dangerous Saquon Barkley.
And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. from the 5, 2nd and 4. They'll run it again with Barkley. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Saquon Barkley as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. They're going to run it with Barkley. And he will get into the end zone again. And he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. And how about this right out of the locker room? An onside kick attempt. And the Eagles hands team able to cover it up. But gutsy call there. You exit the locker room with a lead. Tried the onside kick. It didn't work.
And you just wonder what the gain was there. They're already in the lead. They were in control of the game. They may have given momentum now to their opponent and maybe kick-started things going in the opposite direction.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made.
So a very strong first drive in the second half, Charles, as they turn that halftime deficit into a third-quarter lead.
And they were pretty purposeful there, weren't they? Measured in their approach. But, boy, they executed awfully well, moving the ball down the field.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is up to 5. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 30-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Back-to-back 4-yard runs. Now, look, if they just do that all the way downfield, ball ends up in the end zone, but that's a little difficult to do.
Yeah, I think now 3rd and 2, that defense ready to stiffen up and stop that run. On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Prescott looks to throw on 1st. Left side to Lamb. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be 2nd down. Now Prescott. And he'll go right back to Lamb. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
Vaughn on 1st and 10. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4.
Now they try the right side here. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
1st down, Prescott. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Buried for the sack by big Jalen Carter. By that time, it looked like he essentially just ran right into the pass rush.
Yeah, partner, I'm not much of an outdoorsman, but the fish jumped right into the net, didn't he? Because you've got to make sure that you're deep enough that you can get around the defensive end, have an angle there. But he couldn't do it because he actually cut that one off. Really nice play coming off the edge.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick.
And the Eagles will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. And that could turn out to be a giant play, Charles. You got an offense driving to take the lead, but they're turned away on the INT.
And I think that we might look back on this in the 4th quarter and say, that was the play of the game.
Fighting down past the 45. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
As they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And when you're in a 1-score game in the 2nd half, now's not the time to force the football in the places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
Throwing is Hurts. This one goes out wide for Barkley.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Hurts. He's got his target. That's complete.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles 1st.
And that certainly appears to